Just getting this all set up. I don't think anybody's in the chat yet. Just getting this all set up. I don't think anybody's in the chat yet. Just copying the link here to let everybody know I am live. Little Saturday morning chit chat. Sunday morning, excuse me. There we go. Just let's see. I think I can share my screen here. Let's see what we can see, as the old saying goes. Move this over here. And we're going to add a screen capture. And we will change it to the other screen. Nope. There we go. Minimize my ugly mug. Let's see here. Can we do this? Cut me off like that, I think. Make me a little smaller. Oops. So this is Miniature Market. If you guys don't know about Miniature Market, it's up there with Game Nerds, and I think it might be the same company. I'm not sure, but let's move the chat over here. What's neat about this is Miniature Market. First of all, they use UPS, straight up. They use UPS, so you don't have to fart around with the stupid post office, because as far as I'm concerned, they're fucking useless. This is a Sunday morning chat. This is not a regular thing. This is just me. It's early here. It's barely 7:35. Yeah, 7:33. My kid is watching helicopter videos. My wife is still asleep, so I'm just chilling. This is no form factor, no agenda, no anything. This is just me drinking some coffee. Got my coffee in my Uncle Louie's cup, which I love. And just seeing what goes on, man. Just saying hi to everybody. Nobody's in the chat. That's okay, and I don't expect a bunch of people to be on here, to be honest. I didn't preview this. I didn't say I was going to do it. I just decided to do it. And there was for those that don't know, there was a recent update to OBS, which is what I use to record. And the really nice thing is OBS, they've made it so easy to stream now off of YouTube. I don't know about Twitch. I don't do Twitch. And I would love to do Twitch. I would love to do some of my recordings of my games, or maybe even put them up as an audio cast on Twitch. The problem is my Twitch account is all fucked up, and then trying to get any kind of customer service out of Twitch is like going to the dentist and asking them to pull your teeth without any anesthesia. It's just god awful. So I don't support Twitch. They're useless. Brado, good morning, dude. And just so everybody's aware, for those people that know, that there is a delay. I'm going through OBS, so it's going up faster than what you guys can reply. So Brad won't see my response for a couple seconds. He may see it now. For those that don't know, Brad is actually Goblin Scribe on the Discord channel and on the Mr. Mean Army. He's the fine purveyor and publisher of the character compendium for low fantasy gaming. And Cristiano, hola mi amigo, ¿qué pasó? I think you're Spanish, but I can't remember, dude. And my Spanish is horrible. I haven't used it in years. Good morning, sir, or I probably think it's afternoon or evening where you're at. But yeah, this is Miniature Market, and I'm tended going through them for all of my RPG stuff instead of Amazon. And you may ask, well, Mr. Mean, why are you doing that? And it's real simple. I'm tired of Amazon mangling my packages. You can see from the bookshelf behind me, I have a lot of books. I buy a lot of books. That is my hobby. This is what I spend my extra income on. This is what brings me joy. It is my passion outside of my wife and my son, which are my number one passions. This is the second best thing, and it also helps promote this YouTube channel where I talk about RPGs and stuff. And so I take my books very seriously. I keep them in great condition, and I do everything I can to maintain good quality. And so when I order them, and books nowadays are not cheap. They're $40 to $60 a pop for a decent hardback. And then on top of that, you add in shipping and everything else. And then if you did the Kickstarter, you probably dumped $100 in just to get the extra goodies and stuff. And so books are really expensive now. And to get it in the mail and to see it mangled and the corners bent up and dinged, it's disheartening. And it just, I have complained to Amazon. I can't even tell you. Cristiano says he's having a bad internet day. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. F5 refresh, reboot your modem. Wait like 10 minutes. Unplug the modem, your cable modem, internet modem, whatever you call it over there. And I think you're in Spain or Portugal. I can't remember, sir. I do apologize. I hardly ever get to talk to you because, well, when it's your day, it's my night, I believe. But anyway, let that router sit for like 5 minutes, make sure it's a hard 5 minutes, and then plug it all back in. And hopefully your ISP will get it all together for you, and your modem will realize that it needs to refresh, and life will be better. I hope. I'm going to be on for a little bit. I'm just hanging out. It's a Sunday morning coffee. Sunday morning coffee with Mr. Mean. I got my Uncle Louie's cup. Uncle Louie's Cafe, Duluth, Minnesota. This is a cup. This is what they serve you coffee in when you go. This is a little hole-in-the-wall diner that basically does breakfast, but they're open all hours. I don't know when they close, but they serve. And I just love this mug. I don't know why. It's a simple mug. It's nothing amazing. Holds about 14 ounces of coffee. I fill it up with. I have a Keurig, so I do 12 ounces on strong, and boom, I got my morning coffee. But anyway, yeah, and then on top of that, Brado says, I fucking hate that. Sometimes Amazon just tosses them on your porch. I don't know why I'm rereading the comments. You guys can see the comments in the chat, so I'm going to stop doing that. It's a nervous habit. But yeah, Amazon just throws your fucking package on the porch. And then I live in a decent part of Duluth. I don't live in the greatest part, but like right down the street from me, like 3 blocks away, is a homeless shelter. And I live on a steep hill, so it is literally in the wintertime. We do not see people because it is hard to walk up these because the roads are iced and everything. And so, but we have porch pirates, and I can never catch them because it's not my house. It's a rental, so I can't wire up a camera and everything. I mean, I could, but it would require a bunch of work, and it's not my house. And then I would just have to take it down. We're planning to buy a house hopefully at the end of the year. So if I rig up all this stuff, I have to tear it all apart, and I just don't want to do that. And so I'm really tired of, my packages being stolen from these fucking useless dirtbag people who, can't afford to, can't be inclined to get a job or, just decide that, hey, fuck it, asshole, they're paid for it, so why don't I just take it? And, and I wish I could catch them because I would love to, put my size 12 in their ass. But I've yet to catch one. But the nice part is, For those of you in the U.S., UPS offers a deal. It's $20 a year. It's cheaper than getting a mailbox at a UPS store, because actually a mailbox at the UPS store is quite expensive. It's like $25 a month. But then, the good part is all your mail goes there. Well, I don't want to do that, right? Because they don't steal my mail, they're just stealing packages. Because for some reason, these porch pirates are fucking stupid and don't realize that if the post office or UPS delivers a package and you steal it, that's still mail fraud. Hold on one second, guys. What? What? Yeah, you can push your button, go out there. My 4-year-old is playing with his helicopter. You might see him in the background. Hold on, guys. What? Go watch your helicopters. Good job. Hold on. I gotta go take care of a little guy. What's wrong? Talk. Don't take my blanket up. Use the word. Don't want. What's wrong? You don't want helicopter anymore? Huh? Okay, what do you want to watch? What do you want to watch? Sorry about that, everybody. Hide bear traps on your lawn. Yeah. How about I just, have a 50 caliber with a radar sensor suite and I just blow their fucking heads off. Anyway, that might be a little too aggressive. Like I said, I might be slightly angry. But yeah, so anyway, back on track. UPS offers a service for $20 a year. $19.99. $20 US dollars a year. You can have all your UPS deliverable packages delivered to your local UPS store. Now, I don't know about you, but like I just said, one of those books is like anywhere from $20 to $70. And to have it stolen off my porch because some lazy fuck can't be bothered, and they don't even know what it is. That's the part that kills me. They're just stealing indiscriminate shit. But the point is I don't have to worry about that, because in the miniature market case, I just ordered the Colonial Marines book for Aliens, the RPG, and I'm excited because I've heard really good things about it, and I like Aliens, and I think my gaming group might actually want to play it, so I'm pretty excited. My local gaming group, my Friday night group, and I'm going to... So I ordered it. It was, all said and done, it was $41.64 or something like that, off of Miniature Market, and that's with the standard, I think it's $6 UPS delivery fee. But again, because it's UPS, when they scan it here in Duluth or Wisconsin, I think UPS comes actually into Wisconsin, and I work in Wisconsin, and there's a UPS store a block away from my job. So what's going to happen is they're going to scan it, and they're going to go, oh, it's going to spit out a sticker. They're going to slap the sticker on it, and they're going to deliver it to the UPS store right by my job. Now, I'm going to get an email because I have delivery notification turned on for all my UPS packages. Do yourself a favor and go set that up if you're in the U.S. and you have UPS. I don't know if it works in other countries, but hopefully it does. But you can sign up at the UPS website to have be notified of your package's status. And so I sign up for that. And so what will happen is it'll get delivered to the local UPS store. I'll get an email saying that it's at the local store, and I'll just go pick it up, and it will be perfectly fine. And I just wish, and I even went into the post office and I asked them if they had a service like that, and they were like, no. And don't even get me started on the post office. But anyway, so that's the thing. So Amazon is great, free shipping. Amazon Prime is fantastic, but here's a trick. If you order over $30, you get Prime anyway. And now, with all the loopholes that Amazon has added, nothing's fucking Prime anymore anyway. It still takes you three to 5 days to get something off of Amazon. So very rarely do you get something within 2 days. I think we ordered a little fidget toy for my son, and we got it in 2 days. I was totally impressed. But like any book or anything that I order, those are all tertiary sellers. and they don't have to abide by the Prime rule. But even though when you order it, it says Prime on the webpage, it's not Prime. It's just faster processing time, I guess. So I can tell you that come this September or next September, because I already renewed, it automatically renewed on me and I didn't catch it. I'm not renewing my Amazon Prime account because, to be honest, there's just no point. I'll pay for the Amazon Prime TV on its own. We don't even watch it that much, to be honest. So I think Amazon Prime is going to go the way of the dodo bird for the Mr. Mean household. So that's my Sunday morning rant. How's everybody doing out there? I don't know how many people we have. One of the neat things with OBS, though, is I can click and I can say participants. And right now I just see Brad is in the chat. Goblin Scribe. So Cristiano said he was having internet issues, so I assume he'll be on and off as he can. It's so funny because he only ever gets to chat with me when I do these live chats, because for whatever reason, I don't know why he can't I guess, well, he comments on my videos all the time. Speaking of videos and YouTube, we are up to 900. Let me go check the stats here real quick. You're going to see all my browsing goodness here. Let's see where we're at. We are at 971 subscribers. We're 29 subscribers away from getting 1,000 subscribers. So we got 2 months left. I hope we can do it. Now, does YouTube tell you how many videos? It used to tell you how many, but you can see I have a lot of videos. I believe there's over 350 videos, I think, the last time I checked. I don't know if it tells you. I don't know if it gives you a... Oh, it doesn't. I was hoping it would give you a list, but it doesn't. So, anyway. But, yeah, so this is the Miniature Market website. I can go here. That's the home page. The other cool thing is you get a penny for every $1 you spend. And, that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but, you buy a couple of books, after a while it adds up. So a lot of times that'll cover the shipping or whatever. And I've had good luck with these guys, and they do everything. They do everything from board games, tabletop miniatures, and I mean, if you're into Infinity, Core Space, Attack Wing, Dungeons and Dragons, Dust, Elder Scrolls, Fallout Wasteland, they do all the popular games. The only thing they don't do, I believe, is 40K. I don't think they do anything with 40K just because they're a reseller, basically. They're not an actual game store. But Wrath of Kings, which is a very cool miniatures game, if you haven't tried it, go check it out. War Machines and Hordes. So lots of cool games here. Marvel Crisis Protocol, if you're into the Marvel stuff. And then they do card games, so Magic, Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and all kinds of supplies, card sleeves, card mats, all kinds of cool stuff. Collectible miniatures, so toys, role-playing games. They have quite a list of, and let's see what they have for other RPGs. So right now they got the Book of Nod for Vampire. We got Stargate SG-1, 5 Parsecs from Home. I just bought this about a month ago. I haven't done a review on it yet because I haven't got a chance to play it. But from what I've seen so far, I really like it. And $22 is a good price, And so let's go here. Let's go to Amazon. Those wondering, I use Brave as my browser of choice. So let's go 5 parsecs. 5 parsecs from home. Let's see if they have it. So they have it here for $30 with free shipping. So on Amazon, it's $22.99, and I think, like I said, for the UPS standard shipping, it's like $6. So it's going to be roughly $29 versus $30. And your package isn't going to be mangled because it's going to be delivered via UPS. And like I said, if you do the UPS pickup in the store. Now, the other thing is you can have it delivered directly to your UPS store without signing up or spending any money or anything like that. But it is an extra $5 service fee that UPS charges you to have it. So you can have the whatever, you can have the package delivered to the UPS store. Go to your UPS store and say, hey, look, I'm getting a package delivered here. Please hold on to it when it comes. And then they'll charge you an extra $5. So there you go. So let's see what Brad's saying. Cristiano says he's going to have to watch he can't keep up with my speed. Take care. Hey, no problem, good sir. It's glad to see you, and I hope all is well, and I hope your internet gets squared away. And it's no problem. You always watch and comment, so I appreciate it, sir. Thank you so much. Brad is saying, congrats. Have you read any more on the Guns and Gears for Pathfinder 2nd Edition? I have not, because I am a fantasy snob, and I do not want guns in my fantasy game. It's just one of those things. I don't want guns. It's a crime against nature in my world. So even though I have the book, it won't see much use because I won't allow guns in my game. So some of the other gear stuff and the automatons and stuff, that stuff is cool, but I won't allow guns in my fantasy game. That's just me. So let's see. You guys are seeing my screen. I gotta say, this is pretty slick right here. Never forget. It's the floppy, the VHS, and a cassette tape. If you're over 35, you get this. So that's kind of cute. So anyway, that's Miniature Market. You can look. They've got the new Southlands by Kobold Press. Now this is strictly for D&D, but it's not terribly hard to convert to Pathfinder, and they've got them. They've got them already up here. So. You know, and I'm sure Amazon has it too. Let's see here. Can I do that? Let's see if I can do that. Go Amazon. We'll go here. We'll go paste. Take out the new arrival. And see if Amazon's got it. Nope. So look at that. Amazon doesn't even have it. So, and I'm not sure if Kobold Press has an Amazon store. So, the moral of the story is, check out. Brad's laughing. The Inventor class is super cool, and as long as there's no guns, I would, the Inventor doesn't try to invent guns, I would be totally cool with it. I do see they do have a pre-order for the G.I. Joe book, which is pretty cool. I have no interest in G.I. Joe or Transformers or any of those stuff. Like here's the G.I. Joe dice set. So Transformers RPG. Simbaroom's got the Treasure Hunter. This actually, if you guys don't, hold on. Say what, buddy? You don't like airplanes? I'll be right back. Give me 5 seconds, guys. What's wrong? What do you want to watch?
I'm making the scrambled eggs. We only have 4 eggs left. I was making 2, so keep the other eggs for you. I don't need them. Okay.
Don't go in my office because I'm recording. The camera can't see you though. Welcome to the chaos of the mean. And then we got Alexander D'Angelo. Morning. Any thoughts on solo RPGing and any recommendations? Alexander, there's a ton of them out there. Pretty much all of the major RPGs have come out with solo rules. I'm not sure Pathfinder has. I know the Dark Eye has a really good book. I don't have it handy, but if you're a follower of the channel, you'll know that I'm a huge Dark Eye fan, and they do make a solo book that I believe it's now free on Drive-Thru RPG. Let's go look. How about that? Oh, we're already here. I was looking at the new Rangers of the Shadow Deep. Let's do The Dark Eye. Boom. And we'll see if we can see it. There's the quick start rules, which are free. Excuse me. Ooh. I'll know the cover when I see it. Yep, it's right there. The Vampire of Havana. It's $10. This is basically a solo how to play. It teaches you the rules of the Dark Eye. It's actually very good. The Dark Eye is Germany's version of D&D. It's been around for 30 years. It's a fantastic system. It's one of my favorites. So if you haven't checked it out, I'd say it's well worth $10 for you, Alexander. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Dark Eye. It's a little more crunchier of a rule system, but if you like 5th edition, you like rolling dice, this is a good one. Character creation can be a little in-depth, but there's Optolith, which is a fan-made character creator, which is very good, and actually Ulysses Spiel promotes it, so definitely worth checking out. You can also get it off of here. I think if you do Optolith, yep, there it is right there. Boom, right here, Optolith. So you can see I've already purchased it, so because I'm a Dark Eye whore. But yeah, you can, and it works on Linux, Apple. There's any generic image. There's a exe for Windows for your older Macs. There's a DMG, and then there's the Apple image. Or app image. I'm sorry. It's pay what you want, so you can get it for free. So if you do the Vampire of Havana and you like it, this might be worth getting. I don't know if you guys are. Well, I know Brad is, but anybody else, if you're a fan of the channel and you're on my Discord, you know that we promote all types of RPGs. So, for whatever that's worth. Looks like I lost Brad. Brad left me hanging. So, yeah. And in what we were saying here, Alexander, never heard of it, but I will check it out. Thanks. No problem, man. I hope you check it out. Simba Room also has, I believe, a free play solo. Let's go look at our RPG stuff. Let me figure out I'm not awake yet. I haven't had my coffee yet. Role-playing games. There we go. There's the Dark Eye right there. So just so you can see, these are all. The Dark Eye has quite a lot of products. This isn't even everything. You can get most of it off of Dry3. Oh, Brad says he's there. I guess maybe my OBS is not showing. Oh, now it shows you're back. So it said you dropped off. I don't know. Anyway, there's tons of stuff. Huge source books. This is, like I said, a super popular game in Germany. And then what happens is, what they're doing is they're converting everything to English. And in order to financially do that, they're having Kickstarters. And so they do them every so often. Yeah, Brad says it seems really cool. Yeah, Dark Eye is one of my favorites. It's very rich. If you want a really cool world, very in-depth, with factions and groups and stuff, this is the game for you. If you want to sink your teeth into a setting, like Forgotten Realms or Greyhawk or Mystara, this is up there with all of those settings. Dragonlance, it's really, really good. Then the thing is, they listen to the fans' feedback, and they have every couple of years or whatever, they go through and they like make changes to the world that makes sense, almost like a political vote or something like that, and they incorporate it into the world. So it's really, really neat. The Endergaston graphic novels are actually really good if you want to get a good read for it. It's well worth your time. Let me put it that way. So let's see, what other role-playing game? Legends of the Five Rings has a new version. I believe they have a solo play. Paranoia, of course. Shadowrun has a solo play option out there. Torg does not have a solo play. Warhammer doesn't have a solo play. Let's see what other RPGs they're showing. We're kind of highlighting Miniature Market's website because I went on a little rant this morning talking about the post office and how they mangle my packages every time and if they don't mangle them enough, then the porch pirates steal them, because I don't live in a bad neighborhood, but for some reason there's porch pirates that like to steal my stuff. So let's see what else we got coming up here. Fallout doesn't really have a solo play that I'm aware of, but I believe they're working on one. Aliens has a solo play, I believe. You can download off their website. I just picked up the new Runequest, if anybody's checked that out. Yeah, the art, Brad, and the Dark Eye is fantastic. Alexander, I don't know if you're a D&D player, but yeah, if you're into D&D or Pathfinder, the Dark Eye setting may grab you. It's very rich in its history. They really support the game really well. I'm trying to see what else here. I'm looking. Genesis is pretty good. If you haven't tried that yet, it uses their proprietary dice. But if you have the Star Wars dice, that will work just fine. It's the same symbols on the dice. They're slightly different, but I have some of the Genesis dice, and they look almost identical to the Star Wars dice. I know a lot of people don't like the proprietary dice, but the Genesis Star Wars, Edge of the Empire system is a very good system, coming from a game master's point of view. Slay Industries, also another phenomenal game. Really a big fan of Slay since the late 90s. What's up, buddy? What are you looking for? What do you want? Hold on one second, guys. What's he looking for? It's by you on your table. Sorry about that. Hopefully I didn't blow anybody's eardrums out. Let's see. I don't know what Shattered City is. What is this? If anybody knows what this is, I don't know what is that supposed to be, a bow right there, because that is a freaky looking bow. I don't know anything about this. Never heard of it. So, if anybody knows what that is, let me know. Never heard of Shattered City. Alexander is a big DCC fan. Oh man, you got to get on the Discord. We got some DCC chuckleheads in our group too, and we love it. It's one of my favorites. You can't probably see the books on the library, but I have several, and I just did the Crypt of the Lich or whatever it is, which on Kickstarter earlier in the year. It should be fulfilling here pretty soon. And I got Fred Saberhagen's setting also for DCC that was on Kickstarter, and that's really nice. So yeah, big DCC fan here. I'm not a 5e fan. I've played it, I've GM'd it. It's just not the game for me. I'm a huge GURPS fan. GURPS is one of those games that's been around for 30 plus years. Super Beast, Mr. Mean in the house. That's right, Nasser. I'm here, buddy. Just waiting on you. Got my coffee. I hope everybody's got their coffee. Put your coffee emojis in the thing there. The coffee's getting cold. Let's see, what else do we got here? DCC is always fun. I'm a huge fan. Low Fantasy Gaming is also another solid one. Not sure how I feel about the new Vampire. I'm not, and I did get the Altered Carbon Collector's Edition. Also, no interest in it whatsoever. I got it because it's Altered Carbon in an RPG form, and it looks really cool. But they use proprietary dice as well, and I don't want to learn another proprietary dice. I have L5R and I have Genesis and all the Star Wars games. I don't want another set of proprietary dice. Just don't want it. But I did order the book because it was beautiful, and it comes in a gorgeous slipcover. I'm looking here. What else we have? This is all, by the way, this is miniaturemarket.com. I highly recommend you check it out. We're just complaining about Amazon and their shitty packaging. And so how I've been trying to find out a way to get my packages with either A, not getting them stolen, or B, getting them delivered where they look like they've been through the ringer. Yeah, Nasser says, Super Beast says a new Vampire is good. I haven't actually played it yet. There's a couple of things in the core book that kind of rub me the wrong way as far as a World of Darkness purist. I'm happy for the new edition. I don't like I did a full review on my channel, Alexander, by chance. I don't know if you're a long-time viewer or not, but I do like the 5th edition, the book. I don't like the layout, though. I think the art was sucky. Yeah, Paizo does a great job in their packaging, but Vampire 5th edition has a lot of, the X card, and I'm not against the X card or those type of mechanics but you're playing Vampire. You're playing a game where you basically eat people. So things, that should be off the table in any role-playing game, in my opinion, are like child abduction, rape, things like that. That shouldn't be a part of your game. If you have a group that's into that, that's one thing. But those are the expectations that you as a GM, as a game master, or storyteller, whatever you want to call yourself, you need to make sure that that's set up front and squared away before you start doing that kind of stuff. But I don't think we need to. I don't know how to put this without sounding like an asshole. We don't need to put it in our role-playing games. If you don't, it's like the N-word. I have a bunch of black friends. I don't call them nigger. I'm not a big fan of it. I think it's a derogatory word. I know what it means. I come from a generation that used the word quite a lot, and it doesn't make it right or wrong. It's a negative word. It's a negative connotation, and if we don't talk about it, it'll go away. But the problem is we keep bringing it back up, and I'm doing it right now. I'm bringing it up right now, so obviously I'm part of the problem. Digging through the back wall. Yeah, buddy, Alexander, you're going to have a long time, bro, because I got like over 350 videos, so you got a lot of catching up to do. And I ramble on a lot of them, so, don't feel, and I take no offense if you don't watch them all. Yep. Low Fantasy's on the radar. Yeah, Low Fantasy is really good. I was not particularly fond of GMing it because it felt like 5th edition to me. I didn't like playing it. I'm sorry. I didn't mind GMing it. Now, if you're a cyberpunk guy, then Lowlife 2090 is where it's at. It uses basically the same mechanics as Low Fantasy, but it's a cyberpunk setting done by the same company. Steve Grod, who's on the channel, super awesome guy, fantastic. Great company. Pickpocket Press is the name of the company. They're on drive-through. Go support them if you can, man. They're awesome. But Alexander, thanks for watching the videos. I hope you give them a thumbs up or thumbs down if you don't like them, man. Feel free, put your negative comments in there if you don't agree with something. And join the Discord if you haven't already. I love to talk. I love to argue. I'm really good at it. Yeah, Brad is Brad's a big. He's almost up there with the level of Super Beast as a moderator for my channel. Brad tweets out when I post new videos and stuff. So a big, huge shout out to Brad. And also he's a publisher. He under the moniker of Goblin Scribe. So yeah. And Alexander, welcome to the Horde, man. Yeah, I'm going to agree with you there, sir. I will say, if you look at the Midgard setting, if you're a diehard 5th edition fan, look at the Midgard setting for D&D. If you want a little more grit, it's a little bit of a darker world. It's not so nice. I mean, it does have its bubblegum fantasy because it's part of D&D 5th edition, so it's going to have that. But you can play it as a lot darker world, and I think that goes a long way. But aside from that, Talisman, this new setting from Pegasus Spiel, Talisman, is actually really good. So if you haven't checked that out yet, go check it out. I'm not quite sure if I did a review of that one. I think I did. I'm not sure. I bought this version right here. I bought this one right here, which is the collector's rulebook limited edition. I think they only made 1,000. I think I have like 800 and something, so I didn't get a very low number, but I did buy it, and I'm very happy with it. It's one I would love to play, but I did get to go to a convention last month, and I was super excited about that because it was a convention with actual people. We had to wear masks the whole time we were inside the convention center, which kind of sucked, but could have been worse. Let's see. We got 3 people in there now. Nasser, Brad, and Alexander. Tell your friends. Tweet it out, Brad. Mr. Mean is live. Let's see what else we got. Rangers of the Shadow Deep. Alexander, I think you were asking about solo roleplay. Rangers of the Shadow Deep has an awesome solo play. So does Stargrave and Frostgrave. Those are miniature-based games, but these are really good games. They're D20-based. So if you're a 5e guy, they're going to be somewhat familiar to you, and they're really good. I highly recommend them. They are miniatures-based games, so you do kind of need terrain and stuff, but that's not hard. You can always cobble together something. Primal Thule, yeah, I've heard of it. I've never played it. I almost bought it, but I didn't. Because it was a 5e setting, and I was just like, meh, I'm sick of 5e. Dishonored, really, really good if you like a kind of a dark game. I've played the video games. I really enjoyed them. But as far as the tabletop RPG goes, this is done by Modifius. I'm a huge Modifius fan. I love all their products. So this is a good one, and I think it would lend itself well to solo roleplay. I don't know anything about Forbidden Lands. I've heard good things about it, but it's just not my cup of tea. Mutant Chronicles, I'm a huge fan of Mutant Chronicles. Again, that's from Modifius. Any of the Modifius games I'm pretty rock solid with. Never been a Traveler fan, just not my cup of tea. I love sci-fi. I love sci-fi, hard sci-fi. Traveler just never did it for me. I just never liked the mechanics. Never got into Poultice either. Tolos, however you say it. Monty Cook. I'm not a huge Monty Cook fan. For those, if you're a huge Monty Cook fan, then my channel is not for you, because I don't have anything good to say about Monty Cook. I think he rapes the game community. That's just my opinion. I think he puts out every game goes to Kickstarter, which just kills the small little companies like Pickpocket Press and Goblin Scribe, and the small guys that are trying to put games out. I don't like when companies do that. Ulysses Spiel does Kickstarters, but they also go on other platforms. They just don't do Kickstarter. They don't inundate Kickstarter with all of their options. They use Backer.it, and they use a couple other places. And I think Monty Cook, he's a great guy. I got to meet him once at Gen Con. He's a super nice guy. He's prolific author, but he doesn't need to go to Kickstarter to create all of his books. And that's the thing. He makes millions and millions of dollars on these books. Now most of that goes back into the company to make the product and stuff, but still, he can go to a publishing company and say, "Hey, I'm Monty Cook. I want to do a game," and they would print it, and his credit's good, basically. He don't need to go to Kickstarter to raise money. He's just doing that because he's lazy. It doesn't matter. I make my car payment, or do I buy a new RPG? That's not an option. So, Super Beast, we are 29 away from 1,000 subscribers. We're getting there, man. We're getting there. So it just irks me when I see these big companies go to Kickstarter when they don't need to. Pinnacle's kind of in that same boat. I don't think Pinnacle needs to do a Kickstarter. They should go to like Backer.it or GoFundMe if they want to do that. Stay off of Kickstarter if you're a giant, huge corporation. Pinnacle, employs several people. They have a headquarters. I mean, they don't need. They have their own. They have Studio 2 Publishing is their publishing house, or they're in partnership with them. So they don't need to go to Kickstarter to get published. They can go to Studio 2 and say, "Hey, we're going to do a print run of book X, cover us, and they'd be like, okay, because they know they're going to sell it. Monty Cook is going to sell a shit ton of books because his name is on the cover. And that's why I'm not a huge fan of Numenera. I don't like Numenera. I don't like what's the other two games that they have. I think that it's not good for the gaming community. And it should be all about the gaming community. It shouldn't be about the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. The whole point is there's creative guys like Steve Grod, from Pickpocket Press. Great design. Didn't like the way 5e was going. Did his own thing, and he's successful now. Did he quit his day job? No. He still works. It's none of these game designers are rich except for maybe Monty Cook. And the guy behind Pinnacle, because he's got 5 kids. They're all twins, so he's obviously done well enough to put his kids through college, because they're all in college now. So it's been that. Pinnacle's been around that long. Let's see. Warlock. Oh, now this is one I do support. I'm not a 5e guy, but I like the Warlock Grimoire series. This is from Kobold Press. And it's pre-order, so it's not even out yet. It is for 5e, but I play and run Pathfinder, so I can convert any of this stuff to Pathfinder super easy, or find an equivalent within Pathfinder. So if you're a big 5e player, and you're looking for some diversity, check out Kobold Press's Warlock series. This is part of their Patreon thing. What they do is, so I think it's every month, they release an article, and it's usually a couple pages, 5, 10, 15 pages, PDF. And then what they do is, after a year or so, often they put it all into a full service book. So they have these two, which I've even got a bookmark in this one because I was using it for something. But they're pretty thick books. They're black and white. They're digest size. They're fantastic though, and they're $25, $24.99. They're hardback. Black and white art, nothing fancy, but it's just all of the articles put into a digest, and there's some really great stuff. There's adventure ideas. I mean, if you're a GM, a fantasy GM particularly, these are good books. You're not going to waste your money on these. For $25, you're getting a shit ton of information in here, and ideas and monsters and protagonist or antagonist, wizards, spells, new magic, all kinds of good stuff. So really worth your bang for your buck if that's your thing. If you're a Pathfinder or any fantasy, you can use these for GURPS to give you ideas, whatever. But really good stuff. Highly recommend them. I also got to give a shout out to Richard Wilcock. Try Cube Tales. If you haven't picked this up yet, look how small this is. It's like under $5. I think it's $5 on Drive-Thru-RPG. Pick this up. If you've got kids or young ones, this is a great game to play. It's awesome, a lot of fun. So many options. Yeah, so true. Currently commissioning art for the new standalone project to be released after my Low Fantasy Guide Liber Arcanum book, which is also in the works. Well, you guys heard it here first. Goblin Scribe is working on 2 new books for his Low Fantasy Gaming. Liber Arcanum sounds awesome. And then, do we have a working title for the 3rd book by chance? So while we're waiting for Brad to catch up, like I said, I did pick this up recently. I ordered it online. This is awesome. Revolt is a standalone RPG. Ooh, I'm excited to see that. Well, if a certain YouTuber gets a review copy, he would be happily, probably pretty excited to review that. Just tossing that out there. Quarantine 37 for Stargrave. This is another miniatures agnostic game. So is 5 Parsecs from Home. This is also done by Modifius. If you're into miniatures games and you want solo, this is all about the solo. It's specifically written to be a solo game, and it's actually really well done. But it has RPG-like elements because you create your crew. There's mechanics for creating characters, and you create 5 to 7 characters: your captain, your first mate, your crew, your engineer, your weapons specialist, whatever you want to call them, robots, aliens, whatever, humans. And you create it. It has all the rules in here, and we talk about what a good read. This is a lot of fun. So yeah, just goodies. But Scarlet Citadel, this is the new mega dungeon from Kobold Press. It is for 5th edition. I do own it. I have the map pack right here. Look at all these maps. Oh my god. And then the actual book itself. And I'm converting it to Pathfinder. So Nasser says, if a certain YouTuber would run it on the channel, I would play. Chupa! What's up, sir? Chupa's in the chat. Longtime subscriber. Patreon member as well, I believe. So, man, that's awesome. Great to see a bunch of people in the chat here. That's super cool. Scarlet Citadel. Worth the bang for the buck, Alexander. If you're a 5e guy, this is another kind of dark setting, not so much bubblegum, because it's in the Kobold Press's universe of Midgard. But it's a standalone product. You don't need the Midgard rulebook. I don't even think you need the bestiary. I think you can get away with just this book, but I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. I haven't read it all yet, but my plan is to convert it for Pathfinder and run my players through it, because it's a mega dungeon and it goes down layers, and my players tend to like the mega dungeons. So I'm excited to run this. And like I said, I'll convert the monsters over to Pathfinder equivalents, which is not hard. Everybody's saying hated Chupa. So what prompted this is I'm a big Uncle Adam fan on YouTube. He's a miniatures painter and gamer, war gamer, and he does Sunday morning chat with Uncle Adam, and it's Adam, Atom, and it's that's what prompted this. I was going to go on Discord and just hang out in the Discord chat, and then I thought, wait a minute, if I broadcast to YouTube, it'll be much better. And so that's where this came. And like I said, UPS, we were talking about that earlier. OBS makes it super easy now to broadcast to YouTube. Literally 2 clicks and you are up and running. So, yeah, just wanted to talk about games. But anything out there you guys want to talk about? Any questions you got? What's going on with the channel? What's the next upcoming reviews? I don't know, because I don't plan them out. I just grab something off the shelf. But anyway, let's see what we got for upcoming releases. Pathfinder, Adventure Path, Last Mammoth Valley, Quest of the Frozen Flame. That's a new adventure path that I didn't know about. There, of course, we already talked about the Grimoire. So Alexander is I get my friends in now. I'm dragging them into more obscure territory. Also, not to throw off the conversation, but have you ever done a library tour of your shelves? Alexander, that is an awesome idea, and I think I'll have to do that. The problem is we're going to be moving soon, I hope, and we're trying to buy a house, and so the whole library is not even. You can only see a little bit back there. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I got about 13 boxes on either side of me here that you can't see because of the way the camera is. And I've got a crate underneath my desk. And I've got a bunch of stuff underneath here that you can't see. And Brad says, I support this idea. See, Alexander, what you started? So I don't even have all my stuff. It's all in boxes. Half of it's in boxes. So once I get my house and I get my basement set up and I get bookshelves put in, then yes, that will be something that happens on the channel. I'm most excited to do that, as I think that would be super awesome. Now I'm going to tell you, I just saw this. I'm going to derail this conversation because this is a huge thing for me. I'm a big Pathfinder GM. I like Pathfinder, and this is up for pre-order. Now, I'm on the auto ship program from Paizo. So what that means is when they come out with any of these Lost Omen books, which this is a Lost Omen book, or any core rule books, I automatically get them shipped to me. And what's nice is I pay full price for the book. So normally it's going to be $34.99. I'm going to pay $34.99 plus tax. Paizo is going to ship it to me. But what that gets me is also gets me a legitimate copy of the PDF, which I can import into Foundry, and then I can have all that information there for my players to see in Foundry if I run a Pathfinder game, which I am running Pathfinder bounties, which are like 1 to 2 hour little sessions of Pathfinder that Paizo has created and converted to Foundry VTT for just that reason. And so I've got a very cool group of 4 or 5 players, and they are awesome. They're all new. Some of them have never used Foundry, never played Pathfinder before, so it's pretty cool. And my point with doing that was to show people how cool Pathfinder and Foundry is, so it works out really well. But anyway, I'm very excited for this. Knights of the Last Wall are there's basically a lich. I can't remember his name right now, but he has taken over basically this large island, almost a continent of itself. He has taken over a certain area, and these Knights of Last Wall are right there, and they are protecting it. And it's some great fiction if you're into the the fantasy trope and all that. So I'm very excited to see this be listed. I'll be all over that. So let's see. But yes, a tour of the studio. I did do the House of Mean. It's one of my earlier videos when I first moved to Minnesota. But it was just basically a tour of the house when I moved in. So it's not exactly anything amazing. But yeah, Foundry. For those that don't know, Foundry is a virtual tabletop like Roll20 or Fantasy Grounds. It's my personal virtual tabletop of choice. I've tried Roll20. I can't stand it. I did Fantasy Grounds. I was a big supporter of Fantasy Grounds, but the learning curve on Fantasy Grounds was so steep. And while they were updating it more than they were updating Roll20 was being updated, it still wasn't where it needed to be, in my opinion. And then they did a big Kickstarter for the Fantasy Ground Unity, which was awesome. And I had such high hopes for it, but it wasn't any easier to use. We tried to convert when COVID hit, we converted our in-home Pathfinder game to Fantasy Ground. I went and bought all the books on Fantasy Ground. Disclaimer, my players chipped in for the cost as well, because there's quite a few books at the time. And they all chipped in for the PDFs and everything so that we could run Pathfinder online and still play our weekly game. We would just do it virtually because of COVID, and we couldn't get past character creation. And 4 of us are IT professionals of 20 years. Yeah, Fantasy Ground feels very archaic. Now, I think Fantasy Grounds is a good system if you're a D&D GM or Pathfinder, and you've got all your books invested, because you gotta. With most of these VTTs, you have to buy the product a second or possibly a third time. I already own all of the D&D books that I want and Pathfinder books I want, and now I got to go buy them again to import them in to Fantasy Grounds. That really sucks. And now I got into Foundry because it was actually kind of easier to use, and my one concern was, oh my God, I'm going to have to rebuy all of these books all over again. And I was really not. I was going to force myself to learn Fantasy Grounds Unity because I didn't want to be in that boat. Luckily, the way the way Foundry works is you don't have to do that, and so it's all community built, and it's all built under the SRD, the System Reference Document. So Foundry is not pushing any fees on you. Foundry's not saying, oh, if you want to play D&D, you have to buy this, you have to buy these books. They're not doing that. Now they are WotC is making official content for virtual tabletops, but they're knee deep in bed with Roll20 and Fantasy Grounds. So Foundry's kind of snuck under the radar, so to speak. I'm sure the user base for Foundry is just as high as it is for Fantasy Grounds, and maybe even catching up to Roll20. Roll20's been out for years, and it is popular. I don't know why. 'Cause I know why. It was at the time. It was the only choice, really. But I think Roll20 sucks. That's just my opinion. But Foundry is solid. It has a learning curve, but to me, it's a very leveled learning curve. In other words, it's not too steep. There's no apex, and then you come down, because once you get to the apex, you're like, oh, I got it, and now it's all downhill. It's more level, and it makes more sense to me in the way my brain works. And now that I understand, how things work in Foundry, it's a lot easier to game on the fly. And like I said, the Pathfinder rule setting is done by community members as volunteers. None of them are getting paid, and so it's awesome. Same thing with D&D. A lot of those D&D guys that make those apps and modules for Roll20 or whatever, they're not getting paid. That's all community support. But Foundry really has gone that way of like Linux. They've embraced the open source model, and they are working within the confines of like Foundry to produce products and not break any copyright laws. So Brad's got a question. What's my favorite post-apocalyptic RPG setting and why? Well, there's not a whole lot of No problem, Alexander. Enjoy your day, sir. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you had a good cup of coffee, and thanks for the chat. And jump on the Discord if you get a chance. There'll be links down in the doobly-doo. Brad, what's your favorite post-apocalyptic RPG and why? I would say my favorite is from Eden Studios. I can't think of the name of it right now. It was... Those are the guys that did Buffy, and they did Planet of the Apes and All Flesh Must Be Eaten. I can't think of the name of it. They did Witchcraft, the RPG, and this is the next setting. That's probably my favorite, because basically heaven and hell have collided, and the earth is caught in the middle. But it's very much a very apocalyptic setting. There's a ton of them out there. I mean, as far as... I'm trying to think of a good apocalyptic setting. Fallout's really good, the new Modifius one, but it's very much a themed setting, if that makes sense. It's not. They've taken their concept and they've pushed it on you so much that you're pigeonholed into that Fallout world of the video games and the fiction of Bethesda. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. I fully invested in the Fallout world. So I have no problem with it, but Fading Suns is another really good one, because you can kind of say it's so far in the future, but the suns are fading. They're going into another apocalyptic era, so that's a good one. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. I'm looking at my library here. Yeah, I can't think of anything. Twilight 2K on your radar? Yes, I'm waiting for my shipment to get here any day, Larry, and thanks for checking in, brother. Larry also is a fellow follower on YouTube and a Patreon member. Fading Suns is phenomenal, and I will say the new Fading Suns, I have the Kickstarter. In fact, I think you can see, the box, that cardboard box right there is full of Fading Suns goodness. The core rulebook is in my backpack right now because I'm taking it to work on Monday to read, because I want to run a one-shot for my players. So, but Fading Suns is way in the future. There's lasers and laser swords, and brother battles are like Mystic Warriors. Mutant Epoch I've heard of, Chupa, but I don't physically have a copy. Punk Apocalyptic. Okay, this one I'm going to have to check out just for the name alone. Post-Apocalyptic, I like it. Here's another Pathfinder pre-order adventure. Ooh, look at that cover. Shadows at Sundown. Ooh, we don't know anything about it. Okay, well, that's definitely one we're going to have to check out. So there's lots of cool stuff. This is pre-orders page, by the way, on Miniature Market. We were talking about it early. Punk is a Rob Schwab game. Thumbs up. Oh, yeah. Shadows of the Demon Lord. Yeah, Rob is... I got to hang out with him at a convention in Texas, and super cool dude. Very prolific writer. Super nice guy, too. Shadow of the Demon Lord is not a game for me. I don't particularly care for it. I don't like the dice mechanics, but I like the setting. So Shadow of the Demon Lord would be another apocalyptic, but that's a fantasy apocalyptic setting, I guess. So, but I think more what Brad's looking for is why are these apocalyptic settings our favorite? And I think it's hope, Brad. I think it's hope. You're in such a dark environment, and you're holding out for hope. It is innately human nature to look to the bright side, no matter how dark things get. And I think that's what these apocalyptic games bring to us. Fading Suns, Apocrypha Now, all of those games. Warhammer, Grim Perilous World of Dark. Lord Gwydion. Yeah, he likes the dice mechanic for Shadow of the Demon Lord. It never sparked me, dude. Robert and I have had a long conversation about it. It's just not for me, and that's the joy of gaming, is there's something for everybody. I mean, obviously, Dungeons and Dragons is the world's most popular RPG, and if I never ever played it again, I would be perfectly okay with that, because it just doesn't do it for me. I don't like it. It's not a bad system. It's just not for me. Legends of the Five Rings, the second edition, the John Wick AEG version is probably the best one in my design, but I have all 5 versions in my library, so it's just a matter of what sparks you. And I'm a collector first and foremost, and a player second. I don't get to play nearly as much as I want. I don't get to GM nearly as much as I want, because I just don't have time. I have a very physically taxing job, and I have a 4-year-old at home, so I'm just tired, and I'm 54 years old. I'm tired. I've had a very hard life, and it's time to relax. He had fun running the Darkest House. Nice, Lord Gwydion. Those that don't know, Lord Gwydion is also on the Discord, and he's a fellow YouTuber and a fellow GM. He's a huge fan of Fantasy Grounds, and I think he uses a little bit of Unity. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Lord Gwydion, you're better with Fantasy Grounds than you are Foundry. I think you prefer Fantasy Ground, and I think part of that, if the conversation I remember us having, is you're more invested in Fantasy Ground than you are with Foundry. So it's not a matter of that one's better than the other. It's just you prefer it because you're invested in it, which is totally fine and legit. I'm not that invested. I mean, I have all the D&D modules for Fantasy Ground, because back in the day, that's pretty much, again, to find people to play games, a lot of times you have to run games that you don't want to run. I don't want to run D&D, but in order to find a player, I have to run D&D. And then, as Alexander was saying before he bailed out, he brought all his players in with D&D, and now he's exposing them to other games, which is the awesome way to do it. Yeah, and yes on the investment. Yeah, thanks, Lord Gwydion. So he agreed with me. Yeah, I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. Different strokes for different folks. I mean, he likes Shadow of the Demon Lord. I don't. It's just not a setting for me. I don't like the mechanics, and I don't like the world. It's just me. It doesn't make it a bad game. It just means it's not the game. Mr. Mean's never going to run a game. Will I play in a game? Sure. I'll play in any game to give the GM a try, because the game doesn't sell me. The GM sells me. Here's the thing about role-playing games. No matter how good your game is, how amazing the mechanics are, they aren't worth a shit if you can't find a GM to run them. So, there's no bad games. There's only bad GMs. That is my professional, as a 30-plus year gamer, that is my professional opinion. There are no bad games. There are mechanics that suck, sure, but if it got made into a book, somebody liked it. There was enough people out there. Typing is hard this morning. 100%, Mr. Mean. A good GM can make any scenario system fun, I believe. Yes, Larry, that is the soapbox that I preach upon. I don't consider myself a good GM. I'm a fun GM. And I try different games. And like I said, my Pathfinder group, I have 6 players, and they come back week after week, only because they're having fun. This is a hobby. We do this for stress relief. We do it for camaraderie. We do it to, maybe learn some things about ourselves and our friends that we choose to, hang around the table for 6 hours. My gaming group gets at my house at 7, and they usually leave my house about 1:45. Yeah, Brad, you're right. Fun equals good. So true. And so we do this, and, I'm 54 years old, and I don't see myself slowing down from GMing anytime. I'm going to play games until I can't read no more, and I can't GM. That's just the way it is, and hopefully I live long enough to impart that passion to my 4-year-old, and hopefully he will inherit my books and take just as good care of them as I have, and that would be a wonderful legacy to leave behind to my child. Is my passion for gaming. I would love for him to have that passion and be as excited about it as I am. And I encourage all of you, if you have children or nieces and nephews, to encourage them to get into gaming and play. I'll tell you, one of the best sessions I ever ran was My Little Pony, or Pony Finder. I had so much fun running that for 8 and 12-year-olds, and I was running it at a convention, and I had, I think it was 3 girls playing in it, and there was a group of young boys. They were like between 8 and 12 years old themselves, and they were at the next table over playing D&D. This was during the days of 4th edition, so it was quite a while ago. And the girls were having so much fun that the boys stopped playing D&D because the GM just wasn't very good, unfortunately. He was a young guy, and, it takes time. But they all stopped playing and came over and played in my Pony Finder game. My Little Pony, with 8 to 12-year-old boys playing with girls. And it was one of the best sessions I've ever had. We had so much fun, and I let the kids just be creative, and, it was amazing. So if you have that opportunity, if you have nieces and nephews or kids or grandkids, expose them to the world of RPGs. There's something out there for everybody. Yeah, Brad says that's epic. Yeah, dude, it was epic. It was a proud moment. One of my best GMing chops. My other one, this is a fun anecdote. I was at, I think it was either SquidCon or DungeonCon. I can't remember. But John Wick was next to me. He was running Houses of the Blooded. It was his new game. He was promoting it. And John Wick, if nobody knows, he's the designer behind Seventh Sea and Legends of the Five Rings. Very prolific writer. Quick side note, used to be my roommate too. But anyway, we're at the convention, and he's running right next to me at the table. I'm running Deadlands by Pinnacle Press. And I'm GMing, doing everything. And this was a made-up adventure that I had. It wasn't Deadlands. It was fantasy. I was running Savage Worlds generic fantasy, and I stopped John Wick's game. Now, if anybody's ever played a game with John Wick, you know that he is an amazing GM. He's very much a storyteller. I stopped his game. His players stopped engaging with him to listen to my game. greatest compliment I've ever had. Aside from gaming for 8 to 12-year-olds and having them enraptured with my storytelling skills. So those are my two ones there. Tiny Dungeon is awesome, by the way. Any of the Tiny games are really good. I have Tiny Supers, and I'm dying to play it because I love superhero games. And I think if there's any GMs out there that know how to run it, they should run it for me so that I can learn it. Magic user lizard folk named Banana Split. Yeah, that sounds about right, Brad. That sounds fantastic. And cultivate that. And hopefully they're bugging you to run again and they want to play more. I have a 14-year-old in my Pathfinder game, and he's actually GMing now. And so he comes to me every week with questions, which is amazing, and it's so much fun. And I don't tell him, and there's a 4-year-old. I don't tell him anything. I don't tell him anything negative, man. I encourage his creativity and everything. I want him to learn how to be a GM and have fun. That's the bottom line. Oh, wow. So, Through the Breach. Here's another one, guys. If you've never played Through the Breach, this is Malifaux. It's set in the Malifaux world. Malifaux is a skirmish level miniatures game. Really good game. If you've never played it, Through the Breach, it's a different kind of game. If you want to flex your chops and learn something or do something different outside of like Pathfinder or D&D or World of Darkness, give Through the Breach a try. I believe they have a free primer you can download from their website, which is weirdgames.net. I think weirdgames.com or weirdgames.net. Yep, definitely, Brad. That's what you do. Buy them a bunch, get them hooked early, and you know what? If they're buying role playing games, they can't afford drugs because let's face it, role playing games are expensive. But yeah, give Through the Breach a try. This is one I highly recommend. Penny Dreadful is their series of like little splat books and little adventures, but you can get the core books and they're pretty solid. It's by Weird. Let's see if they take me to Weirds. Yeah, there we go. See, here's the miniatures, Malifaux miniatures. These are some of the older rule books for the miniatures game. So the nice thing about Malifaux, the rule books are free. For the miniatures game, the rule books are free. But the nice thing is they use cards instead of dice. So if you're a dice chucker and you're like, oh, I can't do that, then this may not be the game for you. But if you're open-minded and you want to try something a little different, and of course you can buy all the miniatures if you're that type of GM that likes miniatures and you like to paint. This is a great, two great tastes that taste great together. You got your peanut butter and my chocolate. This is it right here because this is a whole world and it's infinitely cheaper than anything you're gonna like. I love the Warhammer 40k universe, but I can't afford it, so I don't play any of those games because I want to use those miniatures and I can't afford $36 for a single miniature. And here I get a box of miniatures, but this is a skirmish level game, but you can use these miniatures in the RPG and you don't have to. Of course you can do Theater of the Mind. I'm trying to find the actual rule book. These are all the miniatures that they have, so bear with me while I go through it. But yeah, Malifaux is a great world. It's set in the like right around it's a fictitious world, but it's analogous to ours. So right around the Civil War time frame, and what happens is we find a gate that leads to the realm of Malifaux, and so and then we're able to create this gate and keep it open and move back and forth, and so it creates this whole economy with spirit stones and everything, and it becomes a currency almost, and so it's all that stuff. So it's very cool setting, very much that cowboys and Indians, with steampunk kind of technology, just some cool stuff. They have their own theme decks. They have their own rule books. Each faction book is $20, but it gives you a whole bunch of fluff and then all the miniatures and the rules you need to use those miniatures. So yeah, it's really cool. They got some of their older stuff here. This is the rules manual 2E. That this is the old rule book, and like I said, the new rule book is free. You can download it off their website. I'm looking. I'll know the rule book when I see it because it doesn't. It's actual 8.5 by 11. Speaking of skirmishers, what's your thoughts on Frostgrave? I love Frostgrave. I have Stargrave, I just bought it, and I have 5 Parsecs from Home, which is very similar. 5 Parsecs from Home is a solo version. We talked about that a little bit earlier. But Frostgrave is amazing. It's really good skirmish game. I would recommend getting the new rulebook. The new rulebook makes it more cooperative than the first edition rules were very much my warband against your warband, with the monsters and everything thrown in to cause chaos. There were random monsters if you hadn't played the game, and it just caused chaos. And the new rulebook is more scenario driven and more cooperative driven, but it also has solo play rules in it as well. So and Quarantine 37 for Stargrave adds even more solo play rules. So both are highly recommended. You can't go wrong with Frostgrave. It is phenomenal. I bet I'm not going to find the rule book. Yeah, that's so weird. But anyway, Through the Breach is really good. I highly recommend it. I think you'll enjoy it very much. Let's see. What else we got? Let's look at some RPG supplies. The Witchlight Carnival. I haven't heard of this. This is obviously, these are usually for $24. Some of the dice sets go a little higher. I have this set from D&D, and I think it was $35. I bought it at Barnes & Nobles. But what's nice is it comes with really big D20s. I mean, you can see, I have pretty big meat puppet hands, but you get 2 D20s, and it's a really nice dice set. There's the D4, and this is for the Rime of the Frost Maiden or whatever it was that came out. But the nice thing is the box on the inside has felt, and so the box turns into a dice roller, a dice box for you to roll your dice on. And in this case, this box set came with all of these box sets, by the way, that WotC puts out, come with a ton of little handouts. So these are all the NPCs that you're going to meet. So here's Lariel Silverhand. She's one of the elves that you'll meet in the Rime of the Frost Maiden, and then there's some blurb on the back. And again, like I said, the box, this is the deeper side, the bottom of the box. It's also felt, so you got two dice trays if you need them, and they actually work pretty good. They muffle the sound. The dice are pretty nice. They roll very random. And I don't remember what I paid for this. I think I paid like right around $30 for this at Barnes & Noble. So I paid a little bit more. Yeah, they're normally $30, but you can get them off here. But this is the Witchlight Carnival. So if you like the color of the dice, the one thing I don't like is these don't come with the big D20s. It only comes with the normal size. The Rime of the Frost Maiden, the D20s were big. This is a chunky. I don't have a... But you also get a map in here. You get a little fold-out map, you can see. So it's really themed dice set. So that's, I'll give it to WotC for their... this is a miscellaneous... this is the dice set for Realm of the Frost Maiden, or whatever it was, for D&D that they came out with. I can't think of the name of it. I'm dropping dice. It was... Yeah. Faerun, World of Adventures, Birthplace of Heroes. So that's the back of the box, you can see. And then that's the Together in Harmony, Our Stories Are Told. And that's the cover. And I think this is the Rime of the Frost Maiden. So really, really nice. Really nice box set, because like I said, it doubles as a dice box for you to roll dice. And I picked that setup because it had the big dice. All right, there, Larry. You take care, man. Let's see. Do they have other day sets? Because that's kind of neat that they have that. I guess that this is coming up. The character folio. Well, what is this? Oh, I see. It's zippered. Look at that. $42, though. I think that's a little overpriced, guys. It's not even leather. But it will fit a book in there, so that's kind of nice. And that's what it looks like, all zippered up. I would like to go on YouTube and see a picture of this to see how well it is. Because that would work for a lot of games. If you're just a player and you're going, that would be really nice to have. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put that in the chat for my Pathfinder players. Because I think they would enjoy that. I'm in Discord. Am I in Discord already? Where's my Discord? There we go. Go here. So just sorry, real quick. I'm going to post this to my Pathfinders. I have a Discord channel set up for all my Pathfinders. So cool. Just wanted to post that in the channel. And of course, we have the Discord. I think everybody that's in the chat right now is aware of my Discord. So let's go back to OBS. There we go. So yeah, that looks pretty neat. I don't think I would pay $25 for it. Or $40. That's a little steep. And it's not even leather, so a little overpriced there. But I get it. So just looking to see. All right. Well, I think we've chatted for quite a while now, so I think I'm gonna wrap it up. It doesn't seem like there's lots going on. Just a morning rant. This will be live it'll be on YouTube. Because the nice thing is I'm streaming it live, so it's actually recording it as I stream it. So that's it for this Sunday morning. Maybe next Sunday we'll do it again. You guys have a great day. Enjoy your Sunday. I'm going to watch some football because I'm a Saints fan. And you guys be awesome. Love one another. And be nice.